What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of KM Videos True Stories. Today's story is just a bullshit story because you guys always asking for them.
Who's that thumping out the window? Who riding? Nobody survives when
Home turf of the Rolling 60s, part of the largest street gang in all of Los Angeles.
I got my still up, throwing my shit up, pulling the trigger. What the fuck you looking at, nigga? Who's that thumping out the window?
Little kids out there now. The only thing they hear is
Who's that thumping out the window? Who riding? Nobody survives when.
This segment takes place in South L.A., the 4000 block of Broadway, right there at King Boulevard at Castro's Paint and Body. Castro's Body and Paint was located at 4501 South Broadway. It was not too far from downtown L.A., and it was just about around the corner from the L.A. Sports Arena. For those that was getting cars painted during this era, you know all about Castro's. At least some of the low-budget dudes went to Castro's, right? But they gave me a nice white paint job. They put a nice tan top with a fresh motor on my 6.4 Chevy. So I had a nice, clean 6.4 Chevy. And I wanted to do something different. I'm always paying homage, so I wanted to pay homage to my crime meet Roscoe and my brother Loco Bam. So I decided I'm going to get this mural done of this fresh picture that Roscoe sent me from prison with a do-rag on his head and a picture of my brother up in Donovan with long braids. And I'm going to be in the middle with an assault rifle, AK47, basically looking over my two brothers that ain't here to be with me. I'm just paying homage, and this is going to be a fire-ass mural done on my trunk of my 6.4 Chevy. So let me give you the backstory. Y'all know I love to give the backstory. I had this Rag 5.0, clean. Everybody liked it. In fact, people tried to steal it a couple times, and once they were successful at Inglewood DMV, but I'll save that for another day. Well, when I have this 5.0, I don't have a license. I got a suspended license, so I'm not supposed to be driving. So just in case I wreck it or it gets impounded, I got the insurance in my oldest sister's name. Her last name was Reed. Totally different from my last name. I end up selling the car to my homie L. Last name Reed. L stayed in the 30s. L painted this car black and white, fresh. It was fresh and black Dayton's. And I had L take me down to Castro's Paint and Body to check on my mural. Because Castro ain't doing what he's supposed to do. My mural is not done in a few days, and I haven't heard from him. So I go down there, I walk up on Castro, and he looks spooked. I'm assuming it's because he hasn't done my mural. But I'm like, what's up, Castro? What's going on with my mural? And he tells me, he said, come in the office, I got to talk to you. So I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? I go in his office, and he tells me that some guy came and went in my car and went in my glove compartment. I'm like, man, what's going on, dude? You supposed to be watching my car. You ain't supposed to let nobody in my car while it's in your hands. And he said, yeah, but, this one guy came and looked. So I'm like, all right, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little paranoid because ain't nothing in the car but my registration where I live at and those pictures. I don't want people to know where I live at this time, and I definitely don't want my pictures taken because I need the mural done, and I don't have no duplicate pictures, which I regret. And I see this Anglo-Saxon pull up on the side of L, looking like Hitler's nephew or something, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know that he's a police, but very rarely do you see a white guy looking like he's from Germany on Broadway. You normally see blacks and Mexicans. So my antennas went up, I'm out of here. Come on, L, let's go. I jump in the passenger seat and we take off. In the following days, I'm experiencing some strange shit. For example, there's this white guy pretending to be putting in cable in my neighbor's house. So we had a telephone pole which runs the cable, and it separates our backyard from the neighbor's backyard. It's a big, tall telephone pole. My pigeons used to sit on that telephone pole sometimes. And it looks strange to me because usually you're going to have a young Mexican or a middle-aged black dude come install the cable in our particular neighborhood.
This cop has confiscated my photos and is investigating. During the investigation, he says a phone call was placed to the Marina Del Rey Sheriff Station, the agency that provides law enforcement services for the defendant's community. Desk officer referred this rider to the Lenox Sheriff Station, which manages the gang detail from the Marina Del Rey station. The sheriff positively identified the defendant as a Rollin 60s gang member and indicates that the defendant has been arrested by his agency as well as the Inglewood Police Department on a number of occasions for gun violations.
Now, I don't think this dude is no cop. That never crosses my mind. It's just strange that a white guy is over there, and I'm thinking he's being very nosy, which he was. Now, this telephone pole sits above the neighbor's garage, and it also sits above my pigeon cage, which you could walk in. And I had it very secure. I had a bar gate on there, and I had some extra padlocks on there, so you couldn't break in my pigeon cage, at least not through the front door. And during this time, I keep a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have in the house, including money, up under this pigeon cage. And so every day, every morning, every evening, I have to go to the pigeon cage to either retrieve my stuff or hide my stuff. So while this cop is overdoing his job, spying on me, thinking he's so smart and he can't wait to capture me, he's not even realizing that when I climb up on that ladder and go on my neighbor's roof while he's right above me, I have stuff up there that shouldn't be there hidden under leaves. And then I go up under my pigeon cage and I grab the rest of the stuff I had. And he sees this, but for whatever reason, this dummy has no clue to what I'm doing and what that stuff is. We had a fence along the side of our house with a bunch of ivy and bushes and stuff. And then we had a room window. That room window, you can see inside my room if you peek through the blinds. And I kept a shotgun in there and kept a handgun in there. I always kept that type of stuff in case, spur of the moment, somebody busts in the house, right? Regardless of all the other stuff I may or may not have had. I had to keep protection in my room. Because we're talking about the gangbang era, we're talking about the drug era, and you got internal things going on in the neighborhood, so you always have to be conscious of protecting yourself back then. A young black dude, 25 years old. This is just how it went down in South L.A. Another day, I'm seeing this white guy in that backyard, and it looks strange. And so I went and asked the neighbor, like, man, who's them dudes in your backyard? And he said, oh, that's the cable company. So I bought it. I went for it. End of that. One morning, like 6 a.m., one of the homies named V called me. We got several homies named V, so I'm going to just say V. V called me up, and he said, Kev Mac, what you doing? I said, shit, I'm asleep. He said, sleep? The police in your house. I'm like, ain't no police in my house. He said, yes, they are. I just passed by, homie. The ATF, the FBI, the sheriff. I'm like, what?
I grew up at 5506 Eileen. This is where the homies hung out at. But I didn't live here no more. I moved.
I'm like, come get me. So the homie comes and scoop me up, and we go up Alviso, which is on the other side of the school. And through the school ground, you can see my front yard. And sure enough, the ATF, the FBI, Santa Monica Police, the sheriff, and I want to say LAPD, but I don't remember if LAPD was here. I think they was, though. So you got all these agencies on my front yard. They got my mama laid out on the front grass in her nightgown. That's the type of things that these assholes do. But of course, you could blame the criminal for having the police come to your house. I'm going to blame the cop because he was overdoing his job out of his jurisdiction, but they had some type of task force going on at Castro's. And Castro was accused of tagging cars and fixing on stolen cars, that type of stuff. So Castro was the one under investigation, not Kev Mac. But on a fluke, now Kev Mac's under investigation for the picture with the assault rifle. So basically, that's what this case is about.
Out on my lane, Avenue Rich Rollin, 60th to 64th, dope deals going up on 9 lane. 57 up to 54th, got the dope pushing for the fiends, get my money up on 9 lane.
Now I'm like, damn, here I go on the run again. And I go to the house and I get a phone call. I pick up the phone and it's Detective Steiner from Santa Monica Police Department. And he wants to talk to me. I tell him, if you want to talk to me, bro, come to the hood where everybody can see you talk to me and hear what you're talking to me about. Because that ain't my get down and I'm not trying to get caught up in none of that bullshit.
Detective Steiner respectfully declined.
So then I go hire a lawyer. I go hire Earl C. Brody. We always hire Brody up until later on. But I hired Brody again for this case. And Brody advises me to go down and turn myself in to Santa Monica, and they will let me go. So, okay, I trust Brody. I go to Santa Monica, turn myself in. Detective Steiner takes me into like this office, bunch of pictures, bunch of files, bunch of paperwork. Now, peep this out. The crazy part to this story is they go and hit L's house. They hit L's house because of the similar last names. They give me L's residence. L was born and raised in this house. His parents been had this house since the 60s. And they put me as a resident of that house. I ain't never lived at that address. And so what they recovered from that house, they also put on me. So now I got extra gun charges, bullets and bullet casings, all that old shit. And I thought that was foul. Like, how can you put this on somebody else? I don't have no mail going to that house. I don't have that address on my ID or no bills, no utility, no nothing. I don't even leave my car over there. It's a simple situation where I sold a car. There's a new owner that lives at that address. Has nothing to do with Kev Mac. This is just once again top cop overdoing his job, digging into paperwork and investigating and digging up some shit and putting it on me when absolutely, positively, as O.J. Simpson would say, had nothing to do with me. Now, this cop is an expert at interrogation, and he wants to know about this assault rifle. All I could tell dude is the assault rifle is off the street. I don't know if the assault rifle had a firing pin in it or what. I never used it. But I can tell you the police got it. I have nothing else to talk about. And that was the end of that. So dude arrests me and lets me go. So my lawyer was right. They let me go. In March of '94, I was convicted. I took a guilty plea because they were trying to send me to the penitentiary and I had not yet been to the penitentiary yet. I always hired lawyers. I had good money, so I always spent money on lawyers. I bought my own lawyers. Never had moms or pops pay for no lawyers. I bought my own lawyers to keep myself out of prison. But now it appears my luck is running out. The probation officer and the courts recommend prison time. They talk about how I'm a menace to society. All this old bullshit that they typically do to young black men in South Central Los Angeles.
Defendant is not viewed as a suitable candidate for probation supervision. His conduct in this instance has been sufficiently menace. The most viable option for this defendant will be a commitment to state prison for the maximum allowed term. Given his propensity for violence, his willingness to arm himself with handguns, shotguns, assault rifles, and his gang affiliation, this defendant is viewed as a serious threat.
By the way, this detective offered me a deal. If I would tell on somebody or locate that assault rifle, I will walk away scot-free. lock me up, nigga. I'm not tripping. Send me to court in front of a judge, a DA, whatever. Let them decide. I'll even plead guilty, but I'm not finna tell on nobody. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody but me, homie. In today's era of social media, the kids are posting pictures with guns and money and drugs and welfare fraud and PPP loan fraud. And man, look, today's lesson is y'all quit posting that shit on social media, because it can get you in trouble just like it got me in trouble back in 1994. And that's it for today's bullshit story on KM Videos. Thanks for watching. I'll get to some more stories for y'all soon. Have a great day. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share the video. I appreciate it. Salute.
Get my money up on our Biggie suits, Chuck T's with the nice whips. Cross saucer, we be kicking it with all crips. Once you pass 60th, it's all good. It's over here's now, but back then it was the back hood. Little maniac, little loon, roots a little scatterbrain, hanging on the block in the afternoon. 60 Crips, Inglewood up to 54th on the north, little scrawly tiny creep in the hood. Kudu, he be there, and I can't forget TikTok, Big Lynn, Big Dope, moving good. Little killer David Dad was a young pups, neighborhood crippin', and we always getting plenty love. Sitting in the park, chillin' on the weekends. The hood was strong, and we didn't have no weaklings. Kev Mac and Van riding with the low lows. 60th and Eileen on the street, man. Avenue, rich rollin'. 60th to 64th, dope deals going up on Eileen. 57 up to 54th, got the dope pushin' for the fiends. Get my money up on Eileen. Avenue, rich rollin'. 60th to 64th, dope deals going up on Eileen. 57 up to 54th, got the dope pushin' for the fiends. Get my money up on Eileen.